Ladies and gentlemen, my marathon shoes have arrived. Real quick before I get into the race day shoes, if you're new here, welcome. I'm Lucas. I make videos about running, high rocks, chasing big goals, like breaking sub 3 hours in the marathon. My next race is in 2 weeks. I've been sharing my training, the mistakes that I've made, everything in between. So if you're on your own running journey, you'll probably pick up some tips and motivation along the way. For now, thanks for stopping by. Let's get into the video. There we go. Saucony Endorphin Pro 4s. Woo! Look at these. I already have a pair that's all orange and black. So I switched it up. Went with majority white with this cool orange and yellow colorway. But these are going to be sub 3 hour marathon shoes and my shoes to run High Rocks Chicago. You can see the grip here, carbon plate, but they have that nice grip, which is going to be great for sleds. Used these for my last High Rocks and my last marathon. So sticking with these because I love them and I love how they feel. Let's go. We are officially 16 days out from this race. Peak week is completed. Peak week was hectic for me, so I didn't end up posting a video about it. But I'm gonna go over overall what my mileage looked like during this prep. So this was the graph basically showing, my weekly mileage the past 2-3 months. So week 1, 52 miles, then went up to 54.5, then down to 53, 56.5, 59.5, down to 54.5, and then we peaked at 60 miles last week. This week we're starting the taper, so it'll be closer to 50. A couple big things that I followed to grow my mileage and not get hurt, because it's really important that you don't increase your mileage by more than roughly 10% week over week to avoid injury. I followed that very well, and then about every 4 weeks taking a down week where you drop the weekly mileage just slightly to promote recovery. I did that, and knock on wood, I've been injury free. So I wanted to do a little bit earlier of a taper or of a peak week. So I did it 3 weeks out with my biggest peak workout, 22 miles. That one was a beast that included 13 miles total of marathon pace or faster. Hit everything to a T with unfavorable weather, so I'm confident that I'm gonna break 3 hours. So it's a little bit about what the mileage looked like to break sub 3 hours and how many miles I think are needed to run sub 3, at least from the information that I've gathered and what I ran in my last prep. But having 2 60-mile weeks I think was key. Well, we're 16 days out. We have a tempo workout today. We still need to hit a decent amount of marathon miles this week before we really start the taper. About to get the run in, testing out the race day shoes. Saucony Endorphin Pro 4s, 9-mile run today, 1.5 warm up, 6 tempo, 1.5 cool down. Let's do it. Warm up over. First tempo mile. Mile 1,
6:28. Mile 2, 6:24. Mile 23, 6:23. Mile 4, 6:27. Mile 5, 6:22. Let's finish. Final interval, 6:25. Right in range of where we wanted to be, 6:25 to 6:30. Couple even faster. Just walking for a second, then I'm gonna cool down with 1.5 miles. Woo, let's go. 9 miles completed. Like I said, it was a 1.5 mile warm up. Did that in 7:36 average pace. Then 6 miles at about a 6:25 to 6:30 pace. Averaged a 6:25 on the dot. I'll put my splits right here, but varied a little bit, but had a couple below and a couple above that, but ended up perfectly in range. Cooled down with 1.5 at a 7:39. So total was 9 miles at a 6:49 pace, 153 average heart rate. Super happy with that. I mean, I basically averaged 9 miles at faster than Sub-3 pace. So this is the last, kind of bigger tempo workout before the race. 16 days out. Yeah, let's freaking go. Yeah, basically 2 weeks out. Last big-ish long run. So had to call a big time audible this morning. I was going to do all of it outside, but it was pouring this morning. So I did my first 10 of this run on the treadmill in the basement. And honestly, it was super boring. I would way rather run outside than on a treadmill, especially for long runs. I can handle, a short, easy run on the treadmill, or speed work, but not a big long run. That sucks. So I have 5 miles left, 4 easy, and then we're just going to do the finishing mile at race pace, roughly 6:40, 6:45. After this, I'm going to show you my new addition to the home gym and my recovery routine that I do every week. Here's the new bad boy right here. Stationary bike. I've been really wanting one of these for a while, and I'm a big marketplace guy, Facebook marketplace, so I waited to get a good deal. This one just happened to fall into place, but here she is. Got a good deal and it gets the job done. So that's one big thing that I've been doing a lot more of this prep is using the bike, especially on days where, maybe my legs are more fatigued than planned. If I have an easy workout or like the day after a super tough session, whether it's high rocks, leg day, long run, big workout, most of the time I'm hitting the bike instead of a run. Just get that, you can still get that aerobic base, zone 2 effort, less impact on the legs. So now that I finished my long run, about 49 miles on the week, if I'm feeling up for it, I might do like a 30-minute bike tomorrow, just for more of an active recovery. But with that being said, that's the new addition to the home basement gym. I'm going to show you my quick mobility routine post-run. Not pre-run, post-run. Remember that. Don't exactly want to do static stretching before a run. Really just trying to keep my knees out, move my hips forward, move my hips in front of my bottom knee, getting that good hip stretch, opening those up. And I'll do variations of this. So one just pointing forward with, a few pulses, and then I'll go at a 45-degree angle,
Do the same thing. And then one where basically at a 90 degree. And then you really open up the hips and groin area. Same thing with the other leg. Next up, pigeon stretch, where you're putting your front foot out at like a 90 degree angle, like this in front of you, back foot back. Basically where you're almost leaning forward so that your chin is almost coming to touch the foot that's on the bottom. This chin over here, you're not gonna just like be able to go and touch it right away unless you're super flexible, which that'd be awesome. Good for you if you can. But just for mobility's sake, I just do kind of pulses. Get a little bit closer each time. Make sure you're breathing during it. But I'll do these for about a minute each leg. Next, my like soleuses and my ankles. I like to work on those, so I'll basically laying the top of your foot to the ground and then just sitting back on them. I do this for about a minute, just to get that ankle flexion. And then once you're done with those, same position, but you put your toes pointed down into the ground like this, and then you go and sit back. Next, I like to open up my groin. So I'll basically just kind of open up like this, kind of sit back a little, and just kind of rest on the ground like this. And almost just kind of sit here for a minute. And this one feels really good. Even if you go like all the way flat, like this, oh, feels really good. Really the last big one that I do after running is, I actually do this in most of my warm-ups for leg days or track workouts, but basically where, I forgot what this is called, but you're coming in like this, getting that elbow down to hit the ground, and then extending back so that your hand is reaching towards the sky. And then I'll do that on each leg. And yeah, I mean, there's other things that I'll mix and match in there, but it's always important to do post-run mobility. I don't, to be honest, like I don't do it every single run. I guess it would be good if you could, but you know, I'm usually working right after my runs during the week, so on like today on weekend, long run especially, I will do some sort of mobility and roll out as well, because that just releases the tension, loosens the muscles up a little bit, so that I can get blood flow during the weekend to recover. That being said, that's a week. Only 2 weeks left. I'm excited. I'm confident. Let's freaking get it. See you later.